Hi, Steve Hines here from Wandsworth Physiotherapy. Number one of my Physio Myths series is the slipped disc. Now, it's a bit of an outdated term, a misnomer, because the disc in the spine, or the discs in the spine, are not solid pieces of material. It's not like a hockey puck. It cannot physically slip out or slip back in at a later date. It cannot be physically or manipulated back in by a therapist. So it's a complete fallacy and a complete misnomer if somebody tells you that. So what's happening is you have a degenerative or degeneration in the discs through our lives. It's a natural wear and tear process. And a nice analogy is that of the jam donut. So imagine a healthy disc is like a fresh jam donut. It's a nice plump donut with all the jam inside. And a degenerative disc is like a squashed jam donut. The jam has been squeezed out. The donut is flat. And if you consider that is what's happening, or the analogy of what's happening in the spine, the center of the disc is all squeezed out, and the rest of the disc is all flat and bulges around the edges of it, and it's become a dysfunctional segment. That disc and the bone above and below doesn't move as it should be, and it can create intermittent or recurrent low back pain. That process is irreversible, but it doesn't always cause pain. There's lots of people walking around with slipped discs, degenerative discs, disc bulges that don't have pain. And we know from research now that people in their 20s start to get a little bit of degeneration in their spine. It's much more common in your 30s and 40s. And up into your 60s and 70s, there's a high prevalence of degeneration in the disc. So it's a natural wear and tear process. It's irreversible, but unfortunately, it can sometimes cause some recurrent low back pain. So let's get rid of this term slipped disc and think more in terms of degenerative discs and wear and tear in the spine.